This section is about the first production run we made and also about future production possibilities. The first production run, this is actually the first part that we ran on it. We've got a picture of Judy and Glenn Osborne from G&W Machinery Sales in Middletown, Ohio. He cut 30 pieces. We used the 3x4 stall mat from Tractor Supply. We took 30 of those down there. And this is the first actual piece that we cut. So we took a picture of it. This is the Mow Right By business card I have. And this is another business card I have for a softener salt dolly I made. And it basically is never lift another salt bag again. And it's kind of a unique little thing, but that's besides the point. The first production run, we ran at 50 inches a minute as a feed rate, and the finish is really nice and smooth. And I just wonder in future production how fast a water jet cutter can do. If it can go 100 inches a minute and leave a little bit rougher surface, that would be good for production. These three products were produced at the time. We had 30 of these Mow Right Bys produced. We had 30 premium soft stepping stones produced. And we had 120 triangles that was cut out of here on the 3x4 mat. I've joined them together and I found them to be extremely useful as what I call the crown landscaping edge material. And you'll see later on how that works and what that's all about. So basically, I want to talk about the geometry of the Mow Right By and focus on it, and you'll see that, I don't know if a little bit of light will help that. This is a drawing of the Mow Right By. We've got a 4-foot piece. We got 34 inches edge to edge, side to side. We've got an 18-inch diameter hole. We've got a slit cut in it. 16 thousandths is the width of the cut, so it's barely a slit, and you can see by the thing or the display that you can barely see where it cut. It's 1/2 inch thick recycled rubber. The angles on it is 30 degrees on the cuts. It'd be 60 degrees in here then. This is 6 inches wide on the width of the flat edge on both ends, which makes a nice entry point for when you're mowing. So that's the geometry. I want to go over here to possible production processes with the water jet system. If you'll see, this is a drawing of a 10-foot wide and I believe a 250-foot long roll of 1/2 inch thick rubber wrapped around a 4-foot cylinder so that the ends don't curl too bad, whether it's plastic or aluminum. Bearings on the edge for lifting and putting into a feed cradle. But it would roll on a roller conveyor where the rollers are 10 inches diagonally spaced, and I believe you could cut right on that. The water jet itself doesn't need the garnet crushed material that they use on metal, so the nozzle on your water jet, Glenn said, would be quite a while before it would have a wear problem. Your biggest problem with water jet though is a hydraulic high pressure pump. That liquid comes through over there high pressure over 500 mile an hour. But you can see here on this run the CNC would cut all these, and if you look at this, I believe we can have 5 CNC units mounted on a gantry, and you'll notice that this section, this section, this section, this section, and this section are all symmetrical to each other and every detail on it. So if you could hook up a 5 CNC units on here to cut at the same time, I believe you can cut down your production time to almost 17-20 seconds per piece in production, just on that 5 unit, one setup process. You see your water jet would cut the holes out on each of them at symmetrical at the same time too. The only scrap that would be at the beginning of the run would be these highlighted pieces here, which I believe this piece you'll see later can be used over here on some of the creative ways to use the Crown Landscaping Edge. Also, what's unique about this, if you wanted to change your, all of a sudden I had huge orders on the Crown Landscaping Edge, you would change your CNC program from cutting the circles to cutting up the middle of these. So you would have a 3-inch here, cut that in half in the middle, you'd have 2 pieces with 3-inch, and it's all symmetrical. And so you just switch over from cutting the holes and the slit in it to cutting the middle of the rubber units down. You still go ahead and cut your outline 5 places on 5 units, but to go into landscaping production, this is unique enough that you just stop cutting your circles and you cut right through the middle. And you can switch over to production of 3 different parts as the market needs them. You'd have the premium soft stepping stone, you'd have the mow right by, and you'd also have these landscaping edges, which these are going to be natural that way. At a 250-foot row, I figure would give you 310 mow right bys, 310 premium soft stepping stones, and 125 of the Crown Landscaping Edge material here. And again, if you want more of the Crown Landscaping Edge material, you just cut your CNCs off from the diameters or the holes, and you just start cutting these up the middle. Also in the process, at a 30-degree cut here, you'll see this is what we use to go around a tree that's up to 6 feet tall. Or in this case, a signpost and a utility pole will fit in there. You see how this all mate together with 30-degree angles, and you'll see on this print here, this part is here, this part is here, this part is here, and you'll see how they fit. Here you would be cutting 90-degree angles on your machine, which you would not, at 90-degree angles, you would not cut these diagonals. Here you have one with 2 30-degree angles, which you'll see in this process, 2 X's, you'll have remnants come off, just little sections of these in here, and that'd be only your scrap. And so you can see how versatile the jet cutting system is. I cut 32 angles putting this around the front of my house. You can see 32 mow right bys, 30-degree angle on one side. Some of them's got 2 30-degree angles, some of them's got 90-degree on one side, some of them's got 2 90-degree angles. So when you market these, you would basically have 3 different types on a skid, one with 2 90-degree angles on it, one with a 90 and a 30, and one with 2 30s on. And you could pretty well universally use them on anything. Here's a flower bed situation where you just 30-degree angles on one side and wrap them around, or if you wanted a tighter circle, you could have 2 60 degrees on one side. You can create any kind of design you want, and all of these, especially these, will possess the mow right by attribute. Now you can see this one set up here will handle up to a 6-foot tree because it's a little bit bigger. This one here is smaller, fewer pieces. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pieces here. Here we got 2, 4, 6, 8 pieces. This will handle up to a 2.5-inch tree, and if you take your saw and cut off a little bit, it'll handle up to a 3-foot tree.
You said 2.5-inch tree.
2.5-foot tree in the middle, and a 3-foot tree if you cut these ends off. But you can be creative with these any way you can. That's why I think it's going to have a huge market. That is why I believe the water jet system is so good. It's very versatile in making 3 products, and I think all products, I've used them and I see the value in them, and I think all 3 products are marketable, and I mean a huge market. The other process that might be needed would be injection molding, where you get aluminum molds made. Very little scrap then. Might be quicker if you have enough molds made. You'd have to make your own mold for the soft stepping stone, and you'd have to make your mold for the or the Crown Landscaping Edge material. So injection molding is a method also that might be used. Die stamping, I don't know what that would be. Probably the quickest wham bam transfer probably the quickest, but probably the one with the most scrap. And you have to worry about your dies kind of wearing out. I don't know what kind of cost. But those are the 3 manufacturing processes that I see. And I would imagine you'd have to consult a mechanical engineer in the rubber manufacturing industry to find the right process for what we want to do. So, thank you.